Hey Simlies, it's Deli here, and I am continuing the build for the share house with the boys from Luna Island, and I'm really excited about this build, to be honest. I really like how it's turning out once we're getting down to the nitty-gritty wallpaper and whatnot. It really starts to take shape now. We pretty much finished the exterior in this part, so we're going to be moving on to the interior in the next part, which I know a lot of you are looking forward to, as am I. So that'll be a hoot indeed. But yeah, I like the shape of this house. I think it's different to what I've done before, and we're adding a few more walls and sections to it now just to make it a little bit more dynamic, not so boxy, and yeah, I think it turns out quite nicely. It made me giggle a little bit. A few of your comments said that I make many of my houses white and wondering why the wallpaper was so plain. That's because this isn't going to be the final wallpaper. This is just me putting down some white colors because I find it easier to look at the build that way, and I kind of put down different colors around the house, knowing that those parts of the house, or those sections, I'm going to have different colors or wallpapers there, so I kind of get an idea of how it's going to come together in the end. But that made me chuckle a little bit. Most of you guys asked this part to be sped up, but in terms of furnishing, it really is a 50-50 vote on whether you like it to be sped up or in real time. So, like always, I'm just gonna go with whatever I feel like doing, whatever point we're up to. If we need to speed it up a little bit, I will speed it up, otherwise we'll do it in real time. Because, yeah, I enjoy these builds that we do together, and it's great getting lots of feedback, so it's nice if it can go for a little while as well. We did leave in some diagonal walls here, which are going to sit in front of windows, so they act as a bit of a shade, which I think is good. And a few of you guys had a great idea, and that was to have a separate man cave. Nicholas plus games, or Nick plus games, plays games? Nick plays games. Nick plus games. I don't know your user, I'm sorry. And Malik said that I should definitely make a man cave with video games. And Dylan and Planet Sim said it should have a gym as well. And Drake Eduardo said a games room would be good as well. So I feel like we need to have a man cave somehow, but the lot isn't that big, so I'm not sure if we're going to add that in at the end or how we're going to go about that, but we'll add it in somehow or at some point in the build. At least I'll try. We might be able to put it in the garage area, or maybe there is a little bit of space to the right of this lot. A little bit maybe, so we'll see. But yeah, putting down some floor tiles at the front there. I was thinking of extending this area into a balcony. We don't actually go ahead with that, I don't think, in the end, because it started looking a bit apartment-ish, like each of the balconies were a different apartment, and I wanted it to still look like one house rather than 3 in 1 or whatever. And just to clear up, a few of you were confused, there is Xavier as one of the characters that we're building this house for, and that is not the same Xavier as Zavi from the build I did with the Sim Supply and the Kaz I did with the Sim Supply. They are different Sims. I made a Xavier for my Luna Island Let's Play series before Zavi with the Sim Supply came to life. So they are different Sims. Here I am whacking down some black wallpaper. Again, this is not going to be the final color. I could not put black on a beach house on the exterior. That just doesn't seem right to me. Maybe in a more suburban setting where it's not on the sand, I would, but not for this build. So we're just coloring those sections so we know that those are going to stand out a bit from the rest of the house. Helps me build, so that's why I'm doing that. And yeah, a lot of you guys wanted me to keep those slanted walls where the windows are, but I figured I'd take them away from the part of the house facing the water because that was a little bit much. But yes, I think it's coming together quite nicely. And this bit, I guess whether, I was about to say the lounge room, where the carport is. The carport sits underneath the section that kind of runs through the entire house on the right there, then folds over. That carport, I was considering maybe putting a big balcony on top of it, but I actually just like it being plain and simple, I think. I don't want to make that into extra livable space or anything like that. So we're going to leave it as it is. And this fencing that I was putting around the house, I thought I'd give it a go to see what that would look like. But in the end, I felt it looked a little bit busy. I think it took away from the clean lines of the house. It was just unnecessary. So we do get rid of that in a second. But you know, this part, or the part of this build that we're watching now, is quite experimental. I just was trying different things. I wasn't in a rush to get this done, knowing that it was going to be sped up. So I decided to keep all of this for you guys to watch because, I don't know, you might find it interesting seeing the decision-making process, I suppose. But we do get rid of those. It's a nice idea using that fencing, but I didn't like it for this house. Popping in the windows now, which gets me very excited. I love it when the windows start going in because it definitely starts really taking shape. And for this build, I decided to make sure that you can download the build unfurnished, base game only. So all the windows in this house and the doors from the exterior, we haven't done the interior doors yet, but all of the exterior of the house will be base game. So if you want to get it unfurnished and finish it yourself with whatever expansion packs you happen to have, you can totally do that. So the download will be up at the end of the series, and I'll try and put a unfurnished version up as well. Maybe a bit sooner once we get a few of the doors on the interior as well. So here we are putting the base game windows in. We do a lot of layering of windows. I like layering windows. You achieve that through using the move objects on cheat. And I like these particular windows from the base game. They have once you change the color of the wood, if you make those windows layered in a darker wood, I can't help but feel there is a certain Balinese feel to them. I don't know if I'm crazy, but that's just how I feel about it. And so I guess that kind of reminded me of the beach, Bali, the beach, and those windows seems to fit that theme really nicely. So we go with them. We're having a lot of fun with the big windows upstairs as well, layering them up. And I like how in the dining room, it's a little bit asymmetrical there because we've got a portion of the window that doesn't have the sectioned off window through it. Popping in the windows here behind the shading walls or the diagonal walls on the side of the house. When you are in the house, you can look out these windows still and you can still see the ocean. It's more, well, that's why the diagonal walls face towards the ocean. If they were facing the other way, it would block the view of the ocean. So you can still see the lovely ocean and it gives some privacy from the other side or the main part of the road, I suppose. And there's a nice little balcony out the back here tucked away. The idea is it isn't connected to the upstairs living area. It's actually connected to the master bedroom's ensuite. So I was thinking we could put a spa out there on the deck, maybe for Ashton and Xavier, if they get the biggest room, which I assume that's what I'll do. And yeah, I was trying out a few garage doors there, thinking that we could just open up the whole house, kind of like a bifold door effect. But in the end, we stick to the base game. And actually, I should introduce the characters quickly. That I should do. So yeah, they're all from my Lunar Islands Let's Play, which is being put on hold because of technical reasons, because my game keeps crashing. It's just annoying. So I don't know, maybe I'll recreate the Lunar Islands folks in The Sims 4. I'm very tempted to because I love those characters so much. maybe Trinity and Jordan and the boys can appear in Sims 4. We'll see. Which I'm super excited for. But basically we have two brothers, Cody and Austin Wilkins. Cody Wilkins is kind of the blonde surfer dude. He's flirty, he's a daredevil. Although he is flirty, he's family orientated, which means that he still wants to fall in love and settle down one day, which is nice. He's a natural cook and he has a green thumb. So he's definitely going to be making use of that kitchen. We probably should have some kind of garden or vegetable patch here as well for him to use. And yeah, Cody's been with Trinity and he's also been with Jordan, two girls who is in the sorority house build at the moment, you may recognize. And his brother Austin is probably the more serious one of the two. Austin is very intelligent, he's a workaholic, a genius, he's handy with a green thumb like his brother, and he's a computer whiz. So he wants to be a creature robot crossbreeder, so he's definitely into the sciencey side of life, I suppose. And then there's Xavier Grant, who was a new kid in the Lunar Islands. He's very artsy, he's a savvy sculptor, he has a photographer's eye, he's handy, family orientated as well, artistic, and he hopes to be a visionary. So he wants to reach the paint and photography level 10 skills. So he definitely needs to have an artsy looking room, I think. And his boyfriend, Ashton Ballantyne, Ashton is a very athletic guy. He loves the outdoors. He's very ambitious. He's charismatic and athletic, and he wants to reach I think his lifetime wish is to reach the top of the athletic career, so be a superstar athlete or something. And he's well on his way in terms of skill level. We got his skill up quite high in the Let's Play. So yeah, he's doing well. And yeah, Ashton and Xavier are a couple. So they will probably get that master bedroom upstairs on the left there. So that'd be pretty nice view there. I wouldn't mind that at all. And I love this brick texture we're putting on the exterior here. I just really like the color of it. But we do experiment a lot with the wallpapers. I think a few of you will warm to a few different things and probably hope that I'd stuck with something else. Maybe that we initially try now. But I definitely am very happy with what we choose to go with in the end. I was thinking of doing a feature wall here. Some really brightly colored wall patch. We deliberately don't have windows there because on the brown section, because that is the bathroom, and I felt that would be like a little bit too like, hey, how's it going, while you're sitting on the toilet doing your business. So there is a window facing the garage, so it's a little bit more private. I have been known to put windows in bad not so private spots in bathrooms in the past, so I thought I would keep an eye on that. Originally we were going to go with a very dark wood on the exterior, and I did like this. I liked this a lot, but in the end we do lighten it up quite a bit, just because it's a beachy house, and I felt it was too harsh having really dark wooden walls on the exterior with dark bricks. Well, the bricks aren't that dark, but they definitely have dark elements to the brick pattern that tie in with the dark wood. And that was just a little bit too much, I thought. You guys might disagree, and that's fine. I mean, the darker look is really nice as well. But I don't know. I prefer when it's lightened up a bit, so we go with that. And you'll see it unfold in a second. But yeah, I really love these boys. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. I'm not really sure what the interior is going to be like, what direction we're going to go in. But I'm going to try and steer away from the typical beach living interior. We're going to go with something that's a little bit more modern, maybe with a few industrial elements, perhaps. And yeah, it'll be a hoot. I'm excited. And, oh, what was I going to say? I was going to bring something up. Oh, yeah, I read a lot of comments. Well, I read all the comments, and it was really nice to see a lot more comments from male viewers than usual, which is great. So it's awesome getting your feedback particularly. And of course, the ladies watching this leave fabulous feedback as well. But it's really good to get an idea of what you guys were thinking. A few of you wanted to go with some pastels, some bright pastels on the interior, which we might go with. I'm not sure yet. You can definitely make pastels look masculine. I know some of you probably are thinking, what, you're crazy, but you can. If you fuse it with industrial objects, I think you can. But one thing I was thinking of doing is having an electric blue wall. I don't know, but that just got me really excited, the idea of an electric blue wall. So we're definitely going to have to put electric blue somewhere in this house. So there will be some very vibrant elements, that is for sure. But here we are with the final color scheme. It's a nice warm wood. It's a sandy colored wood, and the bricks have browns and sand in them. I get a lot of comments saying I use a lot of grey in my houses because I love grey. So I thought we'd go with some browns for a change. I'm thinking for the interior, the floorboards could be really dark wood. I like that idea. Let me know what you think. Or we can keep it light and fresh inside as well. But I love that blue we just had then. That was a pretty cool blue. If we refer to The Devil Wears Prada, one of my favorite movies ever, I think it's called cerulean blue? Ceruleum. I don't know if it's with an M or an N, but that's the color that it reminded me of. The lumpy blue sweater. If you've seen that movie, you'll probably get that reference. But yeah, I do like the side of the house, and I like how there's an inset window as well. It breaks up that wall quite nicely. And we do have some cream parts of the house we're painting in now, just because it looked a little bit too harsh with all of that wood texture combined with the bricks. We needed to break it up a little bit. And the cream wall at the front, I think we're going to put some lights on there or something on that wall that will make it more of a feature wall. We could possibly put a fountain there or a water feature as well. That might be a nice idea. And of course, the furniture that is sitting in the house right now, that's going to be changed because that furniture is just heinous right now. So we're going to change it. That was a very over-the-top word to use, not heinous. It's just not quite right. So it's just there because I was figuring out what space we had and how it was going to be used. I do want a square dining table though, or a round dining table perhaps. We might have a play with that. Although actually that won't work probably because the chairs won't actually work on a round table, unfortunately. The terrain painting was a bit of an issue. For some reason, the Sunlit Tides world, from what I can see, I don't think the terrain actually matches the world. I don't know if they ever put in a matching terrain to the world editing tools or whatever. So I was kind of struggling to blend in the sand a bit. But I think we do okay. We go with mulch. Someone once commented on a video that they didn't understand why people just used grass underneath bushes or just dirt underneath bushes. They said they always use bark or tan bark. So I decided to do that around the edges of the house where we're about to put some plants in. And I love the fact in this house that we get to use a lot of tropical plants, and I actually use some cactus plants as well. And no, not all these plants are from the base game, for the obvious reason of us being in Sunlit Tides. But these cactus plants are from Lucky Palms, and I really like the juxtaposition between having cactus plants aside the more islandy plants and palm trees and stuff. I just, for some reason, I feel like they go together really nicely. And I think this landscaping looks quite Australian. A lot of contemporary Australian homes have tropical type plants, especially further north, fused with cactus plants. I've seen that around a bit. Some Australians watching might think I'm crazy, but it is something I've noticed a bit of a trend. And we do get in some plants in a second. Oh, these poppies. I don't know why I put in so many poppies, because it does not make sense to have poppies growing out of sand. So we do get rid of those in a second, because I just had the epiphany that does not make sense at all. So we put in these really nice birds of paradise flowers instead. And yeah, they're so pretty. They're my favorite plants in The Sims 3 by far. Lots of oranges, whatnot. These plants we're putting in now, the reedy kind of plants. A lot of you from around the world would probably recognize them as plants that would go around ponds or swampy areas. But we have similar plants to that grow in the harsher Australian climate. They're more in dry land. So that's why they're being put with the palm trees. To me, that made sense as well. So I don't know if you're going to think this is crazy landscaping or not, but I think it looks quite nice in my opinion. So we're going to go with that. Putting in some rocks, of course, because rocks are rockin'. Oh, cringe on that pun, but they look quite nice. Oh dear. Oh dear. It is late at night right now for me, so not too much judgment. Also, the starfish getting put there as well next to some of the plants. The starfish came with sunlit tides, I believe. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Bye!